Drug addiction doesn't discriminate. I was a middle-class kid. I did okay in school. I went to college. No one is safe once it gets a hold of you. You might think you're in control of it, but let me tell you, it was there hidden in plain sight, controlling you long before you even knew what was happening. My name is Kate, and this is my hidden in plain sight story. I wasn't what I thought of when I thought of an addict. We were a middle-class family on the outside, but on the inside, my father was an active alcoholic, and my parents eventually separated. I didn't know how to cope with the confusion and pain I felt, so I ate. Looking back, my binge eating was an early sign of addiction. Then at 16, I had a breast reduction surgery and took my first opiate. I liked the feeling the pills gave me, but the script ended, and I didn't have access to more, so it stopped there. Then I went to college and met two guys who had connections to unlimited amounts of opiates. It was hard to say no. Soon I was taking painkillers all the time. It's not a cheap date. At $80 a pill and a poor college student, I started stealing and robbing to get them. Then I found heroin, which was a lot cheaper but a lot more dangerous. And it wasn't too long before my boyfriend and I started injecting. My boyfriend was heading out of town to work on a ranch in the middle of nowhere for a few months, and we decided to both stop using when he left because he wouldn't have access. He left and I stopped. And after a few days, I felt like I was literally dying. I had no idea what was happening to me. I had to Google it. I found out I was experiencing withdrawal symptoms and that they would last for 3 to 6 weeks. I didn't have time for that, so I continued to use when he was gone. A few weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. When I saw my son on the sonogram, I remember thinking that I so badly wanted to create the perfect life for him. The white picket fence, supportive mom. The drugs owned me instead. I used the entire pregnancy and my son was born addicted. 5 days after taking him home, Child Services came and he was taken from me. It was the worst day of my life, but it was also when I admitted I was an addict and went to rehab for the first time. Over the next 7 years, I went to 10 rehabs and 11 detoxes. Getting clean, even when you so badly want to, isn't easy. My fiance committed suicide in 2011, which only added fuel to the fire. I spiraled into a poor me mentality. And how did I cope? Use, and use some more. I went back to rehab, and 3 months later I found out I was pregnant with my daughter. I was clean this time, but something inside me was triggered and I started using again. My boyfriend found out I was using again, and he had an intervention. I started taking Subutex to treat my addiction and my pregnancy, and I had my daughter, and I got to take her home and keep her. I did relapse again. This time my boyfriend left, and I was faced with potentially losing custody of my daughter. But I continued to use. And after another relapse, I went to another detox. And this time, I was able to stay clean long enough to start the monthly Vivitrol shot, which helped block the effects of opioids. Thanks to a lot of work and support, I am proud to say I have custody of my daughter, a great relationship with my son, and have been clean over 5 years. Addicts think that they're unique, that it won't affect them like it's affected literally every other person who has taken the drug. But they're not unique. The actors and storyline may be different, but the pain they're masking is the same, and the ending will be the same unless they get help. Getting clean, finding support and healthy ways to cope with the pain and struggles you're facing is the only way out of addiction. Help is out there. You can learn healthy ways to deal with pain.